Guys, do me a favor, and if I'm ever framed for murder, delete my search history. What? It's too early in the morning, Buck. What are you saying? What? Who would frame you for murder, Buck? I don't know. But, like, it happens. Okay, but, like, who's actually gonna believe that you murdered someone? That's my point. I seem completely innocent, but my search history is a little bit suspicious. What on earth have you been Googling? Honestly, with the random things that he knows, do we even really need to ask? No, I'm curious. What specifically are you worried about? This can't have come out of nowhere. Okay, so I was searching how much you could sell kidneys for. What? Of course you were. Why? Actually, why? I don't know, I fell down a rabbit hole of, like, court case transcripts, and then one of them was about selling organs on the black market, and then I got to thinking, like, how much could they have sold this for? Like, is it really that worth it to steal someone's organs and sell them on the black market? Apparently, like, if you're really pressed for money, it would be worth your while. You know, saying things like that isn't gonna help you in court. I wouldn't say it in court. Buck, you're going to court? No. No, everything's fine. Just don't even ask. Okay. So did you end up on a sketchy website and you think you're getting tracked? You think they're gonna target you to frame you? No. Can that happen? I don't know. Why are we even having this conversation? Okay, but how much can you sell a kidney for, Buck? Like, up to 200K. What? I know, it makes sense, but also, like, damn. You know what, though? If one of us wanted to sell a kidney, we would be in, like, the best position to do that. Why is that, Edmundo? Well, think about it. We got 2 paramedics, combat medic, and, like, Athena likes us. Okay, actually, I see what you're saying. Athena would not cover for us. Are you guys insane? I don't know about you, but she likes us. Guys, come on, I started this conversation to keep me out of jail. How exactly did you think that was gonna work out, Buck? I didn't expect you guys to start plotting selling your kidneys. Didn't you offer up yours? I mean, you have too. Buck? What? Are you okay? That's like a nasty burn you have on your ankle. Yeah, why are you looking at my ankles? What is this, the fucking 50s? Oh my god, scandalous, I'm looking at your ankles. I don't know, it's just like an odd thing to look at. I noticed the burn! How did you get a burn on your ankle? You know, I think we would have noticed you burning your ankle at a call. When was this? It wasn't on a call. Buck, how did you burn your ankle not on a call? What the hell were you doing? Don't worry about it. Oh no, that's not concerning at all. Buck, it's nothing. Not a big deal. No, let me get a look at that. What? Okay, just grab my foot, why don't you? You know, if someone told me that becoming a firefighter would mean that two separate paramedics and a combat medic would grab my foot and scrutinize my ankle, I might have reconsidered. If you would tell us what you did, we wouldn't be doing this. Oh my god, I spilled tea on it. Yeah, what? It's from hot tea. How do you spill tea on your ankle? Good question. You know, Buck, every time you tell us one of your crazy stories, I'm like, wow, it can't get any crazier than that. And somehow, you always seem to prove me wrong. Wow, Eddie, you are truly horrible at bowling. You know what they say, you're either good at bowling or you're good at sex. Right? Oh yeah, is that what they say? Right. You good, Buck? I just got a strike. Oh my god! Why are you good at bowling? Is that true? What? Oh no. Oh my god, that guy was right. Oh god, Buck, don't go calling more of your past hookups. The rule number 1 of 911, don't assume the character's ages or really anything about the timeline unless it's explicitly said, because the list of continuity errors in 911 is endless, but especially the timeline. Well, generally speaking, it is assumed that the characters are about the same ages as the actor who plays them. That's also been kind of a subject for debate there. So no, Ravi's never explicitly been confirmed to be 22 years old. And I don't, because he joined the 118 in season 4, and May would have been 18, 19. I don't think that he would have been 18 or 19. It does happen, but generally speaking, I don't see it happen a lot. Because that was a similar thing that people discussed when it came to Tommy, because at this point, the best way to interpret Tommy's age is that he's probably the same age as Abby. But then Lou also went and said that the characters are around the same age as the actors, so he's probably closer to his age, which is, I think he's 39. But yeah, it's a total train wreck. All we know for sure, Chris was 7 in season 1, and now he's 14 in season 8. Buck was 26 in season 1, and then 33 in season 6, and May graduated in 2020. Now, Ravi, unless I, missed an explicit confirmation of how old he is, we just have no idea how old that kid is. But Anirudh Pushiroti, who is Ravi, is 30, and Kareen Messiah is 21. And then also, back to May graduated in 2020. I graduated in 2022. So in my brain, she's just 2 years older than me. And then meanwhile, again, Anirudh Pushiroti is 30. And otherwise, there really hasn't been a lot that has gone into explicitly confirming his age. And so that would make him 3 years younger than Oliver Stark. So, no. Generally speaking, I'm gonna say that Ravi and Buck, well, Ravi's younger than Buck, is closer to Buck's age than May's. And I'm not saying that you can't interpret it that way, just that the timeline and how old everyone is a fucking mystery, because they change their mind every 3 seconds. In season 7, they said that Tommy left the 118 5 years ago, and then said that Buck had been working as a firefighter at the 118 specifically for 7 years, when Buck came after Tommy left as Tommy's replacement. They don't know how much time has passed. They don't know how old anyone is. So we get to pick and choose. So I say May's probably 22 and Ravi's closer to 30. So Friends with Benefits, Buck and Ravi for the win, for me personally. I just can't get over the fact that guy was right. I mean, I thought I was good at this. It was like one of the things that I was good at, you know? Jack of all trades, master of none, but I was kind of a master in that. Oh my god, Buck, it was a joke. I promise you, it's just a joke people make, okay? You sure? Yes, Buck, I'm sure you're fine at sex. Fine? Oh my god, I'm sure you're good at sex. Are you happy? Well, it's not like you would know. What do you want me to say? No way this is what finally gets them together. Tim, it might be. It might just be. I love attempting to, like, brainstorm content ideas, and in doing so, making up an AU that literally just exists in my brain. That the only way I know how to execute is through videos, and so people are going to be like, what on earth is happening? So I'm just going to let you know that now in my brain, even though Ravi has not come back yet, after reading that, what was it called? Good Pretender, the Friends with Benefits Buck Ravi AU, I have decided that in Eddie's absence, it'd be fucking hilarious if Buck and Ravi became friends and bonded through watching Supernatural, and Eddie just comes back to them making a bunch of references. I don't know why. That's what my brain has come up with. But, if you see a video of me, from me with Buck and Ravi making Supernatural references, that's just the little AU in my brain now that lives there. Like, it started with me being like, huh. But, like, what if Buck got into Supernatural and we're like, oh my god. And, like, I just think it'd be interesting to see these characters talk about queerbaiting, especially because Buddy is kind of a queerbait situation. I say kind of like it is, but it also, Buck is canonically bi now, so it's a bit. But I think queerbaiting as a whole, like, discussed in shows, is always, like, an interesting thing to see, and I like having characters when I write or make scenes talk about queerbaiting. Anyway, so that led into this little thing I've created in my brain, and it's literally, it's just me. It's just me I don't think anyone has thought of this. Maybe they have. I haven't seen it anywhere, though. I don't see a lot with Buck and Ravi as, like, friends, unfortunately, which is, I think there's just not enough Ravi in general. But yeah, that's where my brain is now. Actually, you can cook spaghetti in the dishwasher. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, there's a bunch of random things that you can use to cook. You probably shouldn't, but, like, if you really needed to, you could. Like, you can cook Kraft mac and cheese with a coffee maker. It won't be very good, but you can. And yeah, you can cook various things in the dishwasher. Some of it you may want to, like, wrap in tin foil, and obviously you don't want to put soap in it. But, like, people have cooked salmon in it. You can't cook anything or heat up anything liquid in it. Yeah, and, like, the water gets hot enough in the dishwasher that it can cook spaghetti. And you can cook a lasagna in it. Again, you cover it in tinfoil, obviously, but you can. What? Yeah, or, like, people have cooked steak with a hairdryer. It takes a long time. And you have to do it in, like, sections, so you have to cut it up anyway. It does work, though. It does work. Again, I don't know how good it would be, but it does work. Or, like, you can pop popcorn with a hair straightener. Wouldn't be the most efficient way, but I guess if you're in, like, an apocalypse or something, that's your only option. Why are you guys looking at me? Because whenever Buck goes on these practically incoherent rambles, you are always the one to provide context. I don't do that. He takes Christopher to the zoo all the time. He's got the place memorized. Ever since the tsunami, Buck's been obsessed with natural disasters. Okay, maybe I do that. So, why do you just assume I know why he knows this? So he dropped spaghetti in the dishwasher. I knew you knew why. Yeah, well, 1 minute he's like, I dropped spaghetti in the dishwasher. And then he's like, wait a minute. Do you think they could cook spaghetti in the dishwasher? Oddly enough, it was harder to find if people have tested people just cooking pasta in the dishwasher, which I feel like would be the most logical thing to try first. Yes, because cooking things in the dishwasher is a logical thought process. Well, exactly. You cook pasta in boiling water. Why were people cooking things you put in the oven? Anyway, next thing I know, he's watching a video of someone cooking an egg on a plate with a hairdryer. It did work. Not convinced that wasn't supposed to be an ASMR video. Yes, because that's the weirdest thing about the video. The steak one was still odd because the person said, well, I want to make videos for, you know, if people, this is their only option. And all I could think is, like, in what world is this their only option? In what world would a dishwasher be your only option? Never said it was your only option. I was just curious if it would work. The way that I spent this whole video saying that 911 is full of continuity errors, and especially with the timeline, and even if they explicitly say how old someone is, sometimes they contradict that, and people are arguing in the comments about the timeline. Guys, they don't know how old anyone is. They don't know what year it is. They don't know how much time has passed. That's the whole point. Like, you bring up one point of evidence and it's been contradicted by some other random thing they put in and didn't think about. No, they don't know what's happening. No one knows how old anyone is, and the timeline doesn't make any sense, and as soon as people accept that, this fandom will be a lot happier. No, I think that's the worst thing, is she took literally zero accountability for her shitty actions. She was just like, listen, my life revolved around everyone else's tragedies. Like, okay. That doesn't mean that taking advantage of someone quite a bit younger than you, who has admitted to having intimacy issues, and then ghost them. Like, lead him on and ghost, but then also just completely ghost him. And never actually break up with him. That doesn't make that okay. That's shitty. And again, she pursued... There's so many things wrong with how she pursued her relationship with Buck. But it kills me that she was like, I could have a boy toy. Like, what she wanted very clearly was not something long-term. And then Buck said, I think I have intimacy issues. So, like, can we just be friends? Like, it doesn't matter if, like, it makes sense. Like, if her reasoning makes sense. Okay? If all of these things make sense, that she was making these decisions, that doesn't mean that it wasn't shitty, and that doesn't mean that people didn't end up hurt. And it's like, you know, I see this, and I see how she went about, like, talking to Buck, and I'm just like, Abby, you are, like, almost 50 years old. Why the fuck are you acting like I did in high school? Like, this is not how you apologize. I am 20 fucking years old, and I'm better at apologizing than you are. Ask my partner. Take some fucking accountability. Holy shit. You want to know what's hilarious about this comment? Is you said this, and I don't think that you know, I have a sister who's 9.5 years older than me, and a brother who's 7.5 years older than me who had leukemia when he was a kid. I don't think I've talked about this. I did just finish editing my reaction to Season 4, Episode 3 and 4, though, so the next one I'm going to be editing is going to be Buck Begins. So that... I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in that reaction. I don't know, it's been months since I filmed that. But no, when I found out that Maddie was about 9-ish years older than Buck, and Daniel was about 7, and had leukemia when Buck was born, I was like, what the fuck? My brother was cancer-free by the time I was born. The age difference is for completely different reasons. But having already kind of identifying with Buck throughout the whole series at this point, and then having that dropped on me, I was like, what is happening? Also, by the way, my brother is still alive. He just turned 28 last week. So. Also, he's a pilot. He's pretty cool. Don't tell him I said that. He's on TikTok, but I don't think he follows me. So, he's probably not going to see this. Edmund, if you see this, no, you didn't.
Get it like when Papa Bomb. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on.